Interesting. A new intro. I wonder what that was. What even was it? Oh my god. I think I see it. Um, oh god. It's a WOOBA! You don't know what a WOOBA is? No, you do. No, you don't? Huh? Um, if you know, that's great. Oh, if you're back there, if you know what it is. But if you don't, yeah, I guess that's what we're doing today. I guess we have to explain this creature to you because, well, he's gonna be appearing a lot. So this is Simon. He is a WOOBA. Where's his name tag? I lost it. We're never getting it back. Anyways, as you can also see, woohoo, yay! New background and stuff. It's pretty lame. I'm gonna add more to it later. I'm just lazy right now. Um, yeah, so anyways, let's get started on WOOBAs. Alright, here is the Google Doc. Yeah, so this is the Google Doc for WOOBAs, aka the documentary and guide. Now, as you can see, I have editing permissions because I wrote it, so sorry if it looks chopped. I don't know how to get into the view mode. Now, anyways, let's continue. So overall, this document is going to be their quote-unquote documentary and guide, which, if you have a very bad attention span like I do, you should be able to read this still. It's not really, it's pretty information heavy, but I try to make it really fun. So we're going to use the easier to read font for now because, like, Loki, I can't even read the font I picked out. I don't even know how I typed it. So yeah, here's a read aloud because I have nothing else to do right now. So does the WOOBA squish? They might look squeezable, as you can tell from Simon, but we really shouldn't do that. Let's not hurt the WOOBAs. Originating from the waters of Southeast Asia after a Siamese fighting fish swallowed a fan whole and fused with it, these tiny fish have multiplied by a ton. WOOBAs have replaced this Siamese fighting fish as a whole. They're a big thing here in the fantail fish town. We're gonna ignore my bad reading skills. Here are their behavior observations. As many people observed in the river of what was the Mekong River Basin, flying WOOBAs have eaten a lot of the sediments traveling down the river, now known as the Fantailed Fish River. The waters are crystal clear. This is because the WOOBAs have multiplied so much, the sediments in the rivers are being eaten all the time. Flying WOOBAs needs the sediments to keep their fantail strong. Sorry if I sound monotone, I just kind of sound like that, by the way. They have shown strange behaviors like Siamese fighting fish. They jump out the water occasionally. Some people might not call them fish because they can do one thing. Fly! Though not for very long. During slightly windy days, WOOBAs can be seen jumping out of the water using their fans to fly. With the help of their large wing-like side fins to keep balance, the wind resistance below their tails allows them to stay afloat. Might not be physically possible in the real world because I tested that out with actual fans. They don't fly for obvious reasons. Anyways, I just fell on my desk. Anyways, so they can stay in the air for 10 to 30 whole minutes. While in the air, they have been seen steering like birds using their tails. Well, they use their tails to steer sometimes, but it's not. The steering method isn't really like birds, by the way. I'm sorry if I didn't clarify this in the doc. If their tail closes one half on the left side, they steer right, vice versa. Ignore the random A there. I'll get rid of that right now. I'm gonna say a lot. Okay, anyways. Their fans are such a beautiful sight to see. They aren't gender dimorphic, so both genders have a fan with vibrant colors or patterns. Same with the body. WOOBAs are extremely friendly. They don't tend to hold grudges, but if you do something really bad, they might avoid you. They're not domesticated, but they act extremely friendly towards other creatures. Only if you feed them, though. Else they will eat said creature if it's smaller than them. Because of that, they are considered invasive, which means you can take one home with you. Just don't release them. Actually, technically in the real world, you would technically need some kind of license, I guess. Sorry, I'm zooming in. I literally cannot read this. It's a little far. Anyways. Don't starve these guys. Even though they eat on their own, it wouldn't hurt to give them some food. Some sediments from the river, including sands, gravels, pebbles, and silts, small vertebrates, and freshwater worms. They can eat those. Or just give them rocks. They can eat those too. Anyways. Their reproduction is pretty simple, and don't worry if you are a tiny little child behind the screen, like 8 to 9 years old, or something, like 5, and you're like, oh no, reproduction. What's reproduction? No, anyways, it's very, basic. So, easy to explain. The females lay eggs, and another fish, male or female, or the mom, basically another female, or the same female, so the female that laid the egg, can drop a scale onto the eggs. The eggs absorb the scales, and they get features from the scales. The eye color is based off the mom's eye. For example, a scale from a WOOBA can determine features. The fin scales, either head or side fins, like wing-like fins, you know those. They will give them the fin features. The body scales will give them body features and colors and stuff. The fan scales will give them the fan pattern and features, and the fan rib scales will give a fan rib color. Not all the features will look exactly like the scale's originator. Forgetting that, but it will be 100%. It will 100% be similar. Sorry, I had like a reading brain fart there. They can lay a clutch of 10 to 40 eggs every few weeks, sometimes more. For their extra info, their eye color can vary, but it's usually bright and large. Their large eyes can be pure black, but usually they reflect light because it helps protect them when they jump out. So they don't need to absorb light really much. That'll low-key hurt if you're jumping towards the sun. You're like absorbing all that light. You know, that's how I would feel. Anyways, they only move their large pupils when they need to. And usually, there's still like a blank stare. They also make a sound that goes whoop whoop. They have a canonical sound, which I will bring up later. Their fans are sturdy and flexible. The fabric, quote-unquote fabric, part of the fan is like hydrophobic feathers, except they're scales. And they're hydrophobic. And the wood part is pure bone covered in a protective layer of scales. Yes, they can still pull it down onto the egg though, even though it's a protective layer. Makes them more vulnerable though. When they dive back into the water, they shut their fans tight for a smooth landing. If they were to keep it open, it would be like a belly flop, you know, like that. Sometimes they shut their fans to gain speed, like some birds do when they dive and they fly back up. And a WOOBA's average lifespan is 20 to 25 years. Throwback to this, they're very hardy, to be honest. You can feed them rocks, and they only need fresh water and some sand. They don't need much enrichment, maybe a ball, which I will show you a WOOBA tank too in this video. Now let's move on to the guides and notes. Whoa, jump scare. See, so these are the flying WOOBA traits. Now let's start with the guide, this basic guide I made, which is very, very bad. It's an older guide. I made a new one recently. Anyways, as you can see here, they're flying, and as you can see here, they're diving, swimming, or diving. And throwback to this part right here, all rarities of fins or side fins are free to use. These are just for lore reasons, as I will get to later. So as you can see, the fan guide, the wood can be any shade of brown, and the fabric can be any color or pattern and can be any shape. So about the any shade of brown part, it can also be black or white, but it can't be gray. It can be a grayish brown, but it can't be gray. It's an open species, so I really don't care what you do, but if you're gonna participate in whatever happens in the Discord server, which I'll get to later, you will need to follow some of these rules, which we're right now, we don't have a lot of members, we have like 7 or 8 real members. Anyway. Flying WOOBA's traits. As you can see, there's common, uncommon, rare, and exotic, which those rankings don't really matter, but if they're just there for lore reasons and world building reasons. But anyways, some traits are more common in flying WOOBAs than others, based on their environment mainly though. The fan on their tail can be any color and have any pattern, but their shades vary so much. The most common shapes are smooth, round, or bumpy round. Okay, I think there was an error there. Anyways, many other shapes exist and are unrated because there's just too many. As you can see, here's the easier to read font if you need it. So, rarity/slash traits are based on how rare they are in the lore/world. They are 100% free to use if you need references or don't know where to start. So, if you really don't know where to start, you can use the trait guide. The rarities don't matter. You can be exotic if you want. That, like, a really rare WOOBA. You can be shiny, too. I don't know how that would work, though, because they range colors. Anyways, so, we'll go to the basics last. We're going to check out the TOS of our species. Then we can move on to other stuff, like lore and examples. Alright, flying WOOBAs are an open species, but be sure to follow these basic rules. This is to help keep everyone safe in the community, and just safe in general. Do not use flying WOOBAs to promote anything hateful, fascist, or harassment, etc. I don't want flying WOOBAs to associate with any of those. Please no NSFW or inappropriate works that isn't like fighting or gore or something, like just inappropriate, such as reproduction in inappropriate ways for fun. Please don't do that. I really won't know if you do this, or if you keep it to yourself a small group, but I would prefer you not. They can reproduce without a partner. It's just kind of just weird in the species in general. And I don't want my species to be associated with not safe for work at all. And if you're a minor, literally don't make any form of NSFW. That is literally illegal, unless it's like blood, I guess. Please don't scam others. It's literally cruel, but to the other person, it's also just annoying in general. You're not cool for that. Anyways, I need to drink water. Monetizing my mascots. If you want to use a WOOBA as a mascot, you can go ahead and do so. Please credit me as a species creator. If you got it down from seller, credit them for the designs too, unless they say you don't need to. So far, nobody's gonna sell designs here. We can give them out for free on the Discord server. And the Toy House, so you can check those out if you want. You don't need a Toy House account to claim. You can or a Discord. I will make a card site too and other stuff. I'll go over that later. Anyways, you don't need to credit me for a design, but you should credit for using the species. Only if you're using it as a mascot or monetizing it. I really don't care if you use it like just as an OC in a video. You don't need to credit me as a species creator, unless I say that otherwise in here I literally forgot. If you monetize flying WOOBA as a mascot, please try to make the species known. So if you can either advertise the community, credit, and it can be done anywhere. Like, I don't care. You can do one of these two. Just one. Anyways, since the species is open and free to make, exposure for the community is fine. I don't care if you're gonna pay me an exposure for a design I made. I literally just make it for fun, and I got, like, another person helping me. AKA someone helping me. Anyways, so... Oh, oops, wrong one. So we're gonna go to the bases and how to use them. Anything here is free to use, by the way. So this is the ref sheet, the average ref sheet base. By the way, the reason why this nose isn't directly up here is because usually space for the fins if you want to draw like that, but here's the top view and here's the side view. This covers the back view too, by the way, so you only need 2. You don't even need to use both of the bases, you can just use one and it'll work. Anyways, So if you're using Ibis Paint or any other thing, this is the canvas size. It's 2,500 pixels by 2,500 pixels. On Ibis Paint, the brush used was ink pen at 35 pixels or bigger, or sometimes smaller if you need to shrink it. And how to use it is, all you gotta do is download the image and import it onto a canvas. This is made for Ibis Paint, by the way. Sorry. Anyways. If you don't have Ibis Paint, maybe you can find a brush similar to the ink pen, or you can just use any brush in general. It's just if you want to match the style. Anyways, you can go wild with the design, and I will actually, that's actually in the guide /notes. So throw back to this. Here's the other guide. Woohoo! Interesting, right? If you're wondering what they look like in the front, it's this. As you can see, their eyes are sort of like that. They're predator eyes, because I don't know if this is correct, but I mean, well, they eat anything smaller than them, like rocks or other creatures. So I mean, it really doesn't matter. Anyways. Their mouth opens and they suck in or nibble at sand, gravel, pebbles, sills, small invertebrates, and freshwater worms, aka throwbacks to the diet. They can come in many shapes too. So as you can see here, they can be bigger, by the way, average, which is their normal size, and smaller. So they can range from any size or shape. For example, a small wooba can be very big in size. So this could probably be like 20 feet long, right? Or 20 feet long proportionally at least. Not really proportionally. And this could be tiny. So it really doesn't matter. And the fan ribs, aka this part right here, must be black, white, or any shade of brown, and no gray. Which there will be an exception soon, and I will explain that. So here's colors if you need to know, or need to color pick it somehow. Fan ribs are made of bone and covered by scales, which they don't look like it, but they are. You know, it's like those feathers that with fur for some reason, like those. Anyways, oh hey, look, it's Simon again, aka the guy on the thing. Like that's like over here or something. Actually, no. When I do this, you're probably seeing me circle a corner, but it's actually on the stream there, but you don't see my cursor there, so that's an oops. My bad. Sorry. The eyes have no iris, just one big pupil that rarely moves, and they can be any color. The pupils only move if needed. So, like, let's say there's like, hypothetically, if there was a giant shark chasing behind them, like really far back, and they can't see with their blank stare, then that's when they would turn it back. Anyways, here are some of the extra design rules if you need it to be written down. They're 100% free to make. This is part of the Discord server, and you'll explain too. So the fan rib color is obviously here, and here's the exception. Dark gray is only allowed if the outlines need to be visible, but it will be considered black. Anyways, the rules for the eyes. The eye whites must be white. Low-key, it'll make the species stay the species as far as it can go. And no pupils, only iris. You can have a multicolored iris. Okay, I'm gonna allow multicolored iris. So you can also do heterochromia. So one eye can be like pink and the other eye can be like red, right? You can also have one that's like split colored, but there should not be any pupils. You can have a second color that looks like a pupil, but it won't be a pupil, basically. Otherwise, you can break any of these rules, but you won't be able to, you know, fashion contest. I really don't care if you do break the rules, unless the fact you're gonna join one of those, which I will explain the prizes later. You can go absolutely wild with the design, which I will explain some of these here. Alright? In examples. So, fan ruffles, spikes, 3 eyes, extra wings, and a halo, etc. You can add some of those if you wanted to, if you need ideas. There's some. This is an optional rule, but I'm pretty sure you should only sell bases if they're original and not basic. If I'm being real with you, I'm not gonna buy a WOOBA base if it's just a WOOBA just sitting there, floating, not doing anything, staring blankly. Who would buy that? Maybe somebody with a lot of money, probably not actually. But anyways, let's move on to examples. Woohoo! So here's example 1. Here's Petzels. So this is a fan ruffle, and this is a fan pattern. I did forget to put it on for the side view, so oops, my bad. Here's Comet. This is when we buy a fan gradient. I didn't explain that, but there's a fan gradient. Woohoo! A Taos. This is a fan pattern. Dawn. Does that say Dawn? Diane? My bad. So it's Diane. It's one my friends made. So my friends made this one. One of them made that one. This one. Another one made that one. And this one. This one. This one. This one. And they made more too. I'll explain more later. So, but anyways. See, this is the exotic trick. They're 100% free to use. Eyebrow, which isn't really an eyebrow, it's just a fan. It's a body pattern, I'm assuming. I think that's what she said. But yeah, it's just gonna be like that. So, so the friends who made this one, they can't draw, and if they can't draw and they can make a good WOOBA, so can you. It's that easy. No offense, by the way. When I say they can't draw, I mean like they can draw simple things. They just can't draw complex things. So even if you can only draw a stickman, making one of these will be easy as pie because we give out free bases. Anyways, Eclipse, I made this one. So this right here is a fan ruffle, and there's also floaty thingies, but we're gonna ignore that. There's double fins. This is how far you can go with it, by the way. It's very, you can go very far with these. Here's one with a halo and an Eska, which is a light, like on anglerfish, for fish Eska. If you're gonna search up what an Eska is, search up fish Eska, because Eska is like a company or something. By the way, this one was already given away, and so was Eclipse. comet, and petals are also gone. Pink. So this is J. This is another example of like a fan extension, a fan ruffle, whatever you want to call them. Also a double fin. If you check the Discord server, some of these will be up to grab, by the way, if you want. This is Bubba. It's a bubble themed. Very simple. Zerfs. This one was claimed, by the way. This one was claimed. And this is an example of another fan ruffle / extension. It's actually these are fan extensions, and the ruffles are on top of the fans, while extensions are extending out of the fans. Just to clarify. Columbus. This one was claimed too, so sorry if you see some of these. This is the unusual antennas. You can go this far with it. This one was also claimed. Opal. This one's not claimed, by the way. And the fin can be anything, and there's some of these get very simple. Alright, this one my friend also made. This is, if you can't tell, this was based off of Knuckles from Sonic the Hedgehog, right? The Sonic franchise. Anyways. Yep, spikes. There are the spikes, as you can tell. Ultia. I forgot what this one was based off of. Unless it's not based off anything. It has a longer wingspan, apparently. This is the one my friend also made. I'm assuming this is Shadow. Actually, now that I see it, see, at Coconut Discord, you can, I don't know if she put this one up for adopts yet. We'll see. This is Sped. I don't know why she named it that. If you're offended, sorry. But, it's based off of Sonic. Woohoo. This is Constel. This one was won already, but the person hasn't claimed it yet. I'm gonna have to ask them if they want to claim it. But anyways. Yeah, another Eska, just a fish Eska, just a backward birds. Orlean. This one has, oh, oops, sorry. God, don't do that. Okay, never mind, don't scroll it. This one has 3 separate fins. Whoa. Head. So yeah, it's you can go pretty wild with these designs. Here's another one my friend made. So these are like fan overlays. They're pretty nice. Jewel. I don't know what this is based off of. I think it's a random design. Dawn. This one was already owned. This was already owned. These are like membranes, like on bats. By the way, you probably saw it in Sidle or Siddle, whatever you want to pronounce it. They're interesting. And yeah, that's sort of it all right now. I am gonna add more. By the way, there's gonna be more examples here if you want to catch up. There will be other stuff in the comments. Anyways, here's the lore if you want to read. I'm probably not gonna go over it because it's the same thing as this, but lore-like. It's first person. So we did just go over the lore already, but there's a WOOBA evolution line, which I'm gonna have to add to it because we actually found a new WOOBA. Wow, swimming in. This is like a whole scientific thing, revolution, I guess. Oh, what do you call that? A new scientific discovery. That's it. Anyways, the WOOBA evolution. Other than the beta fish ingesting fans and somehow fusing with them, there is an evolution to how they look. WOOBAs are a staple of this town, and they have been observed and studied. Some things cannot be explained, such as their whoop sound. Simple times. Though having fun colors, this is very simple. Simon was not the first WOOBA though. The first WOOBA has not been discovered. Simon's only notable features might be his colors or his side fins. Hence the bouncy thing. A lot of WOOBAs tend to look like this. Not much anymore, but a lot of WOOBAs look like this when they first started appearing. Until some brand new features started to appear. New features. Some new features appeared. Some have theories, but no one really knows how. And mutations. New features have appeared onto fans. Some people aren't sure how, but they are being studied. Fan decorations. Some new features appeared. This WOOBA has been seen with fancy tail decorations. Some suggest that it ain't a fancy fan, but nobody knows for sure. This came after the original WOOBAs and their simple traits and features. Sorry. Anyways, fan extensions. You can see that right here. Unlike fan extensions, unlike fan decorations, fan extensions are not on top of the fan, but attached to it, like hair extension. They serve no purpose as far as people know. Some theories suggest it allows them to fly higher or smoother. That has not been proven yet. This came after the fan decorations. Gradient. Surprisingly, it came at the same time as the fan extensions, or at least newly seen at the time. The gradients can range from dark to light, or just any color in general. Sometimes a gradient has more than 3 colors. Fan patterns. A quite common appearance, like gradient, like gradient is a fan pattern. A quite common appearance like gradient is fan patterns. Sorry if that makes no sense. I don't even know what that is. I literally wrote this in school. Anyways, this is self-explanatory. They're patterns on fans. Whether they're spots, stripes, or abnormal shapes, they are patterns. These showed up after the gradients and fan extensions. Okay, my friend made this one, by the way. Double fins. Double fins showed up quite a while after fan patterns. Nobody knows how it happened, but the most accurate theory is a mutation. Double fin WOOBAs can fly faster after several sightings showed so. So if they have double fins, they can fly faster. Probably because they can boost them very faster. That might take up more energy though, to be honest. Anyways, abnormal head fins. This showed up quite late. A really long time after the double fins, someone saw a WOOBA with strange head fins. Sometimes there's 2 or 3, or they're one normally shaped head fin. They don't seem to affect anything or do anything. Eska, fish thing. Quite soon after an Eska was found on a WOOBA's head fin. For context, an Eska is a bioluminescent lure on a fish, like an anglerfish. WOOBAs with an Eska might be able to see better in the dark, but there's nothing to lure in. Maybe other than worms and small invertebrates. But not much to lure in really, because pretty much ate all of those. Fin membranes. On some fins, they have been seen with membranes, like bat membranes. Except unlike bat membranes, they're slightly stronger, still fragile, but strong enough to withstand flying and swimming. Some are translucent, iridescent, or solid. Other mutations. This is the end, by the way. Mutations such as rings, spikes, extra eyes, larger fan extensions, etc. came late to the game, but these mutations have been selectively bred by people to fit their aesthetics. WOOBAs can be selectively bred to look the way people want them to. Actually I will explain more about that, and that was their evolutions, which there'll be more. So as we go here to the easier to read font, I don't know how I read that one low key. I guess I can read it, but it's harder to read with this one because it's smaller, by the way. So the other one was pretty big font. Anyways, so throwback to this. Yes. So in the world, people can selectively breed woobas. It's very easy. They just take a scale from another fish and put it on some eggs, and whatever icon they want, they just take a female fish, wait till it lays eggs, and then build all the features together. So yeah. Anyways, so that was everything for the Google Doc. Alright, this is the Toy House form. Let's bump it real quick. So, Toy House form. If you're on Toy House, you might see this form. And it has some of the information on it. It's a cool animation assignment, aka the intro for this video. Here, this also dives into some of the lore, and it's a shorter version, essentially, pretty much. Not the full lore, but it's pretty short. I think. No, never mind. Anyways, so, the Toy House form. Oh my god, that fish is flying. You know, that would be my reaction too, Loki, if you're a little tourist, right? Anyways, do not fear tourists or new resident. This is perfectly normal here at Fantail Fish Town. In fact, it's a huge thing here. The residents who live here love the fish. They're beautiful and adorable. Who wouldn't love this guy, right? Anyways, introduction with Simon! You might have seen this fish already. He's up there flying in a loop forever and ever. Just kidding. That's just an example of Simon doing a fun little trick. Simon will teach you all about flying woobas, or just woobas for short. Wait. So this is here, I'll translate for him. Anyways, as you can see, when we fly, our tails open up. Whoa. When they close, we're probably diving or swimming. It's very hard for us to swim with our fans open underwater, as they're used for steering in the air and getting that extra wind boost. As you can see, when he dies, it closes for like a split frame. You can go back to the intro and look at that, by the way. Their biggest feature is their fantails. Their smallest features are their eyes. They only move their pupils if there's an emergency. They usually have a blink stare though. So, yeah, we did go over this. But the biggest WOOBA seen was the size of a 4x4 card slot Pokemon binder. Not the height though. The smallest was probably the average size of an eraser. An average size WOOBA is about as big as a mouse. No, not the rodent, like a computer mouse. Weight also varies. No matter the size, they could be tiny and chubby or large and skinny. Their shape has a ton of variety. They're usually shaped like a petal aside from our tails. I think I meant their tails. I don't know why I put our there. If you found that interesting, they're an open species, as I said before, and this is the guide from the doc. This is the most recent WOOBA, which I need to update that because that is not true. Anyways, we'll move on to the Discord after. And if you're interested in looking at the WOOBAs that are available or aren't available, that isn't on the doc because it doesn't really specify, you can look here. So 1, 2, and 3, these images are hidden from view, so don't worry. You can just endlessly scroll. So there's this watermark on here, right? Oops. So you see this watermark? It says, I was sent to a new home. It's kind of hard to read, but anything with this watermark means, or this one, because for some reason it breaks, so like these two. So anything with these watermarks, they're claimed and you cannot get one. Anything without a watermark that isn't like a sign, so if it's just a red watermark with no other watermarks around it, you can either comment, go into the Discord and ask, or do something to claim them. I would even accept claiming in the YouTube comments, low key, but I don't think anyone's gonna comment. Anyways, and anything with this watermark, not that watermark, this watermark, the blue one, which it is the same size as these, but for some reason it's like glitching out and tweaking. So is a Discord exclusive, which means they are Discord giveaways and they will be given away on Discord only. As like part of a giveaway, but anyways. This is our most recent one. Interesting, eh? Maybe you want it. It's claimable right now. Unless somebody else claimed it. after the video comes out. Yeah. Anyways, let's move on to the next part, the Discord server. Welcome to the Discord server. So, oh, we have a lot to cover here. This video is going to be like an hour long. Anyways, so going over some rules, which you can also just use this video to throw back. Be respectful. Respect everyone. If you don't support them, at least respect them. Ignore or block somebody that is disrespecting you, and report it to a mod, admin, or the server owner, aka me. My DMs are always open, and ping is always open for me. No NSFW. The server is PG. For real though, it's official fans. Why would you share NSFW here? Censor anything sensitive, right? Flashy, gore, etc. Some people are sensitive to gore, flashing lights, and sensitive topics. Sensitive topics include SHGAR, body disorders, and art/writing that discuss or show phobias directly. So this can mean a lot of different things. If you find that offensive, I'm sorry, but like some people just like they don't like they may have a body disorder and they're just not comfortable with it being brought up all the time or it being mentioned. Like that's just a thing that happens, right? Maybe a small minority. Anyways, be aware of others in the server. If you use any word in a harmful or derogatory way, you will get in trouble. Be aware of others' triggers and whether or not they want to be pinged. No stealing. This includes not free to use or any unpaid for basis, tracing, heavy inspiration, impersonation, copying, AIR, etc. No, please use common sense, even if it isn't a rule. Even if it is a rule, if you know it's wrong, don't do it. So, except like let's just say, right? Racism is not a rule here, so it's like no racism isn't being stated here, but honestly, that falls under this. If you racism is wrong in the server, and so is AI images. Don't do any of that here, for goodness sake. Feel free to invite their friends as long as they listen to the rules. I did not type that there, by the way. That was my mod, right there. Anyways, verifying is very easy. All you gotta do is react to this. This way we know you actually checked out the rules channel. If you don't verify, you can't see the arts category. Make posts or send messages and introductions, send images in the images channels, and we just don't want spam in general. Ban topics in the server! Please don't talk about these. They're either problematic or inappropriate or just not safe for work in general. So, Vivzy Pop, she has been known for being very problematic. I don't want that mentioned in my server, not even the character designs, etc. Because some of the character designs, they're not necessarily 100% problematic, but some of the characters are problematic, and some of the world building is too. Anyways, Chain Special Edition, aka Purro, the black dog with a skull on it that's a furry anthropomorphic animal. Please don't talk about it. It is inappropriate. It is a inappropriate game for a PG rating. Kaiju Paradise, it's problematic, and it's inappropriate. And the exception is talking about the characters and its overall player versus player system. Talking about the transformation aspect is banned, or any drama, which I'll add that later. Boy love, girl love, or yaoi, usually used in an inappropriate context. If you're using it in a safe for work context and not using it in an inappropriate context, it is okay. So you could say something like, "I read BL," like that is safe for work. You just can't say which BL, please. Unless it's 100% safe for work and it's just average. Generative AI, please don't use this. The exception is asking if it's AI or accidentally sending AI without you knowing. And any questions can be asked in the Q&A channel or ticket center. There's the GIF again. Geez, this is gonna get repetitive. Reaction rules. So here's some of the rules that you can't really use, forget, unless it's like this otherwise. So, reaction rules. Server announces species and how pings, no pings, male, female, other, artist, writer, composer, giveaway ping, revive crew, events ping, or free adopts ping. You have to select these to post in certain channels, like the arts, and you also need to be verified to even see the channel, first of all. Q&A. Nothing yet. Anyways, so here's the ticket center. Woohoo! It's very easy. Just create a ticket and start typing. Anyways, so to create a Q&A post, let's just say something here, and you would click post. All right, that's what you would do, and somebody might go up and explain why. So here's Q&A. Do not ping anyone if you need to report someone that leaves suggestion. Go to hashtag ticket center and don't ping unless it's urgent and only in ticket center. So this, I mean, it's solved and resolved. So if I were to make a post like this, right, like this, and somebody would react to this just to show it's verified. So Just delete the post now before somebody sees. Um, so the more check marks there are, the more likely it was solved. And I think you can search. So yeah, you can search here too. So, uh, we are doing a ticket center, a server guide. Server guide. Some channels aren't visible like rules, and we have no idea why. So this is the whole channel guide. If you need a server guide, if you need to jump around like a portal. Here are the events I'm going to talk about. I'm going to get to that last, but here are the introductions. By the way, this was called the Finfo Center. Somebody else. Finfo Center. Haha, Fin, haha, real funny, haha. So here are the welcomes. Um, this is interesting, right? So this is not me, by the way. This is just a joke, an inside joke, the I am alpha thing. And yeah, you can check out. It just lets you know what you can look at for a lot of things. Anyways, introductions. Nobody has posted here yet, but yeah, you can make an introduction. The guidelines is pretty simple. Minors are not allowed to share their age. I don't care if you're 17, you are still a minor. Please don't put your age. You can put minor for age, but no specific numbers should be placed or will or can be placed. So don't place like if you're like 15, don't put I'm 15 years old in my age. Just put less than 18 or a minor. So you can put this exact thing, but you cannot put a number less than 18. Right, so you can put like, oh, less than symbol 18, which means you're less than 18, which I'll take that. I'll allow that. Um, here's a template if you need it, and obviously the banned topics are back. Please don't talk about these. You can put I like Kaiju Paradise, but please, I just wouldn't. You cannot put I like these. By the way, this includes Has Been Hotel or Hello Boss or any show that she makes. Please don't put I like insert those shows. I will take it down. I just don't want it. So, um, here is the staff introductions. Wow. Beautiful. You can check that out yourself if you join the server. Now, anyways, these are the staff crew roles. It'll explain the roles to the best of the ability. Where did this come from? Okay, whatever. Anyways, Hangout, General. It's pretty dead. I would love if people were to join. Um, yeah, let's type that in. So there's nothing in here. Oh, hello, it's Poncho. And yeah, you can like send stuff. Anyway, some of our memes we have memes specifically for the server. Burlington Boat Factory. Ha ha ha. Yeah, so far this. Yeah, so far this seems to be almost accurate now. Speaking of memes, stickers! We have stickers featuring the memes! Ow, my neck hurts. Anyways, we do have emojis too, which you are currently making more of. Don't worry. Oh, the Species Finfo Center! The species announcements, which explains a lot. And it goes, it's pretty simple, self-explanatory, it's just the announcements of the species. I might post videos like this here, honestly. I'm gonna move my chair real quick. I low-key don't know if my VTuber model is gonna be tweaking out because I cannot see it, by the way, so sorry if it like teleports to the screen, and just disappears back. I don't know how to fix that. Anyways, yeah, we'll go. You already saw the species TOS and the species info. It's just a copy and paste of the doc, pretty much. Yeah, anyways. So, yeah, let's just check out this channel now. Burlington Boat Factory! The WOOBA adopts. Oh, wait, I need to update this. Somebody claimed it. Give me a sec. So, yeah, anyways, yeah, you can, like, see free adopts here, and yeah, you can, like, claim adopts here in, like, threads and stuff. So, as you can see, alright, here. Oh my god, wait. But anyways, so this is my friend's adopts. Yeah, no, the Sonic ones are not up, I guess. And yeah, you can share your woobas here. I made a new channel before this post was made, by the way. And yeah, you can share your woobas. Here are the bases and some tiny examples and stuff. So right here, the same thing. Wooba help, and if you need help making a wooba or something, you can do that. And wooba tanks, woohoo! You can go to this Google slide template, right? And you can make a wooba tank. So this is my wooba tank. It's not exactly like the example, but you can do that. As you can see, it's Simon eating rocks with a plant and a ball. It's very easy. Here is the arts. Nobody has shared her yet, so there's not really much you can do. But general art critique. The rest of these channels are self-explanatory, by the way. Uh, Anything that's not helped, this will be reported and removed. By the way, if you do so, criticism is if the artist is asking for criticism, aka this is why you would post here. You can post like if some like you can post if they ask, uh, help with anatomy, please critique it. You cannot say your art looks like your OC looks like it has scoliosis. That is not critique. Critique is like I think I think the waist should be longer, or I think the torso needs to be shorter and the legs need to be longer, or something, and you should make it a little more proportional. So like something like that and stuff, right? Um, and here, look at this, please. If someone asks, "Is my shading okay?" and you respond with, "The legs are backwards, the eyes are wonky, and the anatomy's a little work," I will literally mute you. That is so off topic. Yeah, these are examples that is not criticism or critique. Is bad music, writing poorly, and your art is bad. It's just okay. Don't say that. That's just rude. General creativity. This is just if you just want to post anything in general, like work in progresses and stuff. On species, you can advertise your species here and do stuff. Yay! Off topic, you can if you don't want to if you want to join the server just to hang out, I will be active in these too, and these are the tickets. So that is the Discord server. If you want to see more about the Discord server, you can join. The invite link will be in the description. Yeah. So anyways, I gotta check out something because I think I made an oopsie. But yeah, anyways, so that's gonna be it for the Discord, and then I'll go over more about the species and some extra info later.
Burlington Factory!
Alright, I hope you enjoyed flying woobas. Now, anyways, more on the species. As you can see with Simon, look at his tail. Something seems off, right? Look at it. It's curving a little. That's not supposed to happen. I think I think they're evolving. I think their bones are becoming more bendy. More bendy. You see that? Look, I'll show you. I'll show you. I show you. Why is my mouth not moving? Anyways, look, it's like bending a little bit. It's like bending. Oh, oh, oh. Anyways, ugh, I need to sneeze. But like, anyways, so like, that's it for Woobas. Oops, I accidentally moved my whole VTuber model. Anyways.
Burlington Boat Factory!
So if you need more help if you want to make your own, feel free to do so and stuff. Like, just feel free to do whatever you want with the species. It's pretty fun, except making NSFW. I, you know, I will have a lot of issues if you make NSFW of the species. Please don't do that. I moved the whole background. Help! Anyways, yeah, so that's gonna be all for today's video. Yeah, wooba.
Burlington